Canadian International. They're at the post. They're off in the Patterson Canadian International. Musketeer Kara's orientation broke running as expected. And from the outside, Miami Deco as they head for the first turn. And it's Kara's orientation and Joel Rosario to set the pace. On the outside, Bronze Cannon in a second position, and Rahi Strada's close to the pace along with Celtic Conviction and Mikhail Glinka as they take that rise up to the backstretch. And Kara's orientation, the Sky Classic winner, is going to play Catch Me If You Can. Bronze Cannon second, and Rahi Strada's third, Miami Deco fourth. Mikhail Glinka is in fifth, and Treasure Beach is in a sixth position. Redwood is seventh, and Quest for Peace is eighth. Celtic Connection is ninth, Moore's Wells 10th, Joshua Tree is 11th. The filly Sarah Lynx is 12th. Laureate Conductor is 13th. Arctic Cosmos is 14th. Musketeer 15th. And Simard is last of 16 as they run up the backstretch, chasing Kara's Orientation. And it's Kara's Orientation, Bronze Cannon right there in second, just a length behind. Miami Deco is at the neck of Bronze Cannon. Rahi Strada is riding the hedge, back 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then Mikhail Glinka. Treasure Beach is in amongst horses and just 3 lengths off the lead. Redwood runs with Treasure Beach. Sarah Lynx, the fillies, down toward the hedge in heavy traffic and 4 lengths off the lead. Then Quest for Peace, Joshua Tree, Moore's Wells. Arctic Cosmos starts to gain a bit of ground along with the Simard. Then Laureate Conductor. Trailing this field at the midpoint of the turn is Musketeer. Kara's Orientation is still there as they come over to the top of the stretch. Miami Deco on the outside second. Redwood gets a nudge to run on now, and Treasure Beach has been drafting in behind horses throughout as they straighten away in the Patterson Canadian International. A cavalry charge inside the quarter pole. Here comes Redwood. Here comes Arctic Cosmos. Here comes Moore's Wells on the outside, and Sarah Lynx is sprinting at the rail, and Sarah Lynx has come away with the lead. It's the filly, Sarah Lynx. She's demolishing this group. Sarah Lynx, tenacious on the turf to win the Patterson Canadian International. Finishing second was Joshua Tree. Then we had Treasure Beach and Arctic Cosmos. The unofficial result of the 10th race, the winner, number 1, Sarah Lynx. Number 7, Joshua Tree finished as second with a 13. Treasure Beach third, and 2, Arctic Cosmos was fourth. The running time was 2:34 and 4/5.
Simeon winning with the filly Sarah Lynx, and you rode this filly on soft ground at Deauville in the past, so I wouldn't imagine that the ground today was going to be much of an issue for you.
You know, I was drawn one, so it was a very good positive sign with her because she likes to be inside the horses. Her great thing is that she have a good turn of foot. She's really relaxed in the race. It's now the third time she have blinkers on because before she was a bit lazy. So with that soft ground, when I saw she was not pulling at all in the race, she was really relaxed. I was quite confident.
And she opted to go against the boys because of the distance. 1.5 miles is more what she wants to do than 1.25 miles.
Yes, actually, she's better on 1.5 miles. Last time she was a bit unlucky because she didn't jump out the gate, but the form was really awesome. She was beaten by fillies that finished second in the Arc de Triomphe. It's probably the highest rated race at the moment on 1.5 miles. So she get a chance today to do something great, but I didn't suppose her to win this way.
Congratulations, Christophe. Christophe Soumillon and the filly Sarah Lynx winning at 22-1.
The Canadian International, the Pattison Canadian International, what a spectacular performance by a long shot filly by the name of Sarah Lynx. The one horse at 22-1 will post the upset in this race. Jockey Christophe Soumillon. Jeff, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday he won a race with Cirrus des Aigles and was unfortunately subsequently fined $79,800. I can't make that number up. Just under $80,000 for a whip infraction. He hit the horse 6 times instead of the 5 that is allowed, and he has been given a fine or a 5-day suspension as well. Now he flies to Canada and takes the $1.5 million Pattison Canadian International.
He can pay the fine now.
Yes, he can.
And what's with the fillies these days? Rachel Alexandra, Zenyatta, Goldakova, and now Sarah Lynx wins the richest race in Canadian racing in 2011, and not only wins it, she crushed this field. Joshua Tree was second, Treasure Beach was third, Art de Cosmos fourth, unofficially upstairs at Dan Loisel.
What a performance by Sarah Lynx, and there she is in Christophe Soumillon. A fantastic race by this daughter of Monjou. In fact, the Monjous finished 1-2 in today's Pattison Canadian International. Sarah Lynx, her first Grade 1 victory as she sprinted away from the field at the 3/16 pole and crushed them to win the Pattison Canadian International. Let's hear it for Sarah Lynx. The filly beats the boys in the Pattison Canadian International.
When this filly left the walking ring, Jeff, I didn't get much of an opportunity to see her in the paddock, but as the horses were leaving the walking ring, I made a point of going over and watching them all. And she was, she's not a very big filly, I'll tell you that, but she was really looking full of herself, very confident looking. You know, they said they wanted to send her and race her in this race at 1.5 miles because this is the distance she wants to go. Previously to this, though, she'd run on 3 times at this distance and hadn't even hit the ticket.
So now the obvious question is this. She's not Breeders' Cup eligible right now, so what do you do if you're the Connections? Do you take a stance and supplement the horse, or do you just say, you know, we'll pick up 60% of this purse and we'll just go from here? We'll try and find out some answers for that for you a little bit later on, but first of all, upstairs at Dan Loisel.
Being led into the winner's circle in the infield, the winner of the Pattison Canadian International, #1, Sarah Lynx. A bay filly, 4 years old by Monjou, out of Steel Princess by Dane Hill. The breeder Grange Con Stud, down by Mrs. Robert.